Yo, welcome to the Coffee and Convo with your man, lyricist, aka David Young. I want to thank you guys for checking in for today's episode. Much appreciated. All right, so to get to some of the things, as you heard at the beginning of the show, we're going to be talking about, your value. Also, we're going to be talking about how you market yourself and what you provide as a valuable individual. But I want to thank everybody for tuning into today's episode. And if you've heard the other episodes, I appreciate you. Make sure you're sharing it. And definitely take a chance out to subscribe and rate as well. So with the format of my show, just to explain it in detail, is that I want this show to remain something that's organic. I'm currently working at home, but when I'm on the road, you guys typically hear my background. Doesn't matter if it's cars driving, horns beeping, whatever. It's more of an organic feel, so you can understand that Coffee and Convo is an organic place. I'm going to work and I'm doing things just like you guys. So, yes, I do work for myself, but it doesn't change the dynamic. It's still work being done daily. I still have to travel to my destinations and I have to do certain things. So, that's what comes along with the mindset of getting your day started no matter what. So just to hop into this episode now, let's talk about value. The first thing we want to talk about is, do you feel like your value is being recognized by anyone around you, by your family, by your friends, and even by the people that you work with? Do you feel like your value is being recognized? And if you don't feel that way, that means that things have to change. There has to be a change of presentation. You have to show these individuals that you are valuable, that your time is not to be wasted. And if people ever think that it's okay to waste your time, you don't want to be put in a position where it is they keep doing those things. You know what I mean? So you want to always approach a situation as if you know that you bring something to the table that cannot be ignored. A lot of people find themselves in the position of being frustrated because they're waiting for people to recognize what they can do. I used to be one of those people. I've actually talked to my therapist about that recently. It's like, and he told me, he was like, if people aren't willing to say at least thank you for the things that they do for you, never do it again. Remove those individuals from your life and just be done with it. So that's the approach that I'm taking with a lot of things now, is the recognition and recognizing that I am valuable, that I do bring value to the table with every interaction. I've had multiple deals recently where an individual tried to either change or manipulate things that to work out better for them. And when I recognized what was going on, I had to think about the long term. Do I think that this stuff is going to work for me long term? Absolutely not. Doing a deal with somebody that thinks that what they get is more important than the deal itself, it's not a good deal at all. So I kept my head up high. I walked away from it and I was like, hey, the best thing for us to do is not to do business, because I know what I do. I know what I bring to the table. If you feel like what you get is the end all be all at the end of the day, I can't argue what you think your value is, but I know what I bring to the table. And I bring clean, good business that guarantees money for all, not just money for me. I guess that didn't work for that person, so I let it go. There's another situation where an individual was getting caught up with third parties, and he felt as if all business should cease. My contract basically says that if there's a third party individual involved, my business does not cease, and our compensation is not contingent on what happens in that situation. So when it was time to do business and he seen that I didn't deviate from the terms of my contract, he became frustrated. So I said, hey, until you figure your things out, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to let you figure out how you want to handle this. But I know the best thing for me is not to handle it the way that you would like to handle it, because it doesn't protect me. It doesn't protect my business. It puts my business in jeopardy. So if I'm losing money because someone else couldn't do their job right and I'm here to actually correct it, let's continue down that path. You hire me to do a job and to do it right, and it's going to be done right. So my compensation has to match the time and dedication that goes into delivering those services or anything that you expect to our expectation, not for you to punish people across the board. That's not how I do business. My value is too high for that. I'm in too high of a demand to sit up here and have this type of conversation. And I had to let that be known. I took a step back. And as we speak now, the individual is reaching out to me and want to, renegotiate, my inclusion in their project. I'm not going to completely shut them down. Let's see how things work out. But I'm pretty sure that is a deal that's going to work out. But I had to show them that I respect me and my time more than anything. My time is the product here. Yes, my skills and my services is also that product, but more so my time. And I don't let people waste my time. That's what comes along with you knowing your value. It's indisputable. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to oversell yourself. You know what you bring, skills and time. So recognize that and make others recognize what you bring to the table. All right, so we're going to scoot past that. Let's talk about marketing, another part of your value. Knowing what you can bring to the table, knowing what type of service you can provide, how you can make their product better with just you touching it, you being there, you improving it. So marketing your value comes down to letting people know, like, hey, I can do this. You should come to me. I can offer you the best return on your dollar. People respond better to that. Now, I'm doing I'm doing some deals right now for, landscape. Sorry, I'm getting it all wrong. For my real estate. And, I'm letting these individuals know that what I provide is different from any other investor. I can not only guarantee you that you will sell your home, I can guarantee that you're going to get more money without having to pay exuberant, crazy fees to get the deal done. And I'm also taking on some of the, cost of getting your deal done as well, just so you can get a deal done and get it off of your mind. I offer them those things, and I also offer a fast turnaround when it comes to getting those properties sold. So when I'm able to offer those things and show them, like, hey, this is my value. We could do a deal or we could not do a deal. It's really up to you. But I'm not going to, oversell myself because I showed you and told you what I can do. So it's up to you to make the leap and trust the product. And my product being my time and my confidence in what I could bring to the table. Some people take it, some people don't. And I don't let those people that don't take it bring me down. It's not worth it, because I know that there's someone else out there that's going to want what I have to offer. I don't wait around for people to value me. If you don't value me in that moment, I move on. Give you the opportunity to miss me while I'm gone. As they say, absence makes the heart fonder. It works in the business world too. Sometimes you just have to remove yourself from a situation and make people respect you and your time. in that situation. So I am not opposed to making people, wait or figure it out. Because I don't lose any sleep over that. So knowing your value, marketing your value, knowing that, hey, I can guarantee you this in return for my time. In return for, your dollars. I don't have to too much sink into the personal aspect of value. If you want to look into some of that stuff, just go to my Instagram and you'll hear me talk about personal value a lot. But just to touch on that just a tad bit, if you want to see more, go to my Instagram, David D. Young Sr., and you will see that there's a few videos that I have talking about that and understanding your value. But just to touch on a little bit, if you have somebody in your life that you give your time to, especially in a relationship, and you feel like you're not getting anything back, you know that you're giving them your all. You know that you're trying to make sure that they're taken care of, that they're happy no matter what. There's value in that. And when you bring value in the aspect of a relationship, you show them that you're willing to spend quality time. You show them that you're willing to do things for them. You show them that you're willing to listen. You show them that you actually care. And you contribute to the building and not the breaking. It shouldn't have to be a situation where you guys get around each other and make things hard for each other. You have to be that person's peace. And if you know you can bring peace to that person, that makes you valuable to that person. Being someone that they can vent to. But they have to do the same for you. Because by you being a valuable person, a valuable individual, you know that you deserve a listening ear and a shoulder to cry on as well. And if you feel like you're not getting those things, that may not be the relationship for you. If you feel like it's an 80-20 situation, that is not the situation for you. There's no value there. That person is offering you nothing. You recognize your value, and you have to also recognize the value in that person. That's the only way that relationship can work. And then you create value together. You value each other. Using the V word a lot this episode, but it's necessary because I feel like a lot of people don't understand how value works. Their values, others' value. It's really, really important that the recognition of value is put to the forefront. That's the only way that we can have a good relationship with others, is that we respect each other. And what comes from respect? Value. If a person can't do shit for you, where's the value in that situation? You don't want to deal with that person. So that was me talking about the relationship aspect on it. If you want to dive into more of that, go a little bit deeper, stop by my Instagram, David D. Young Sr., and you'll see more videos on that. And let's go to the friendship aspect of it. Now, here's the part where I've had to make a lot of changes because I've seen the value of the individuals that I had in my life. And this may sound mean, but their value was not shit. They could not bring anything to the table. Yet, I stuck around because I've known these individuals for years. And where I am now in life, we have to be able to contribute some level of value to our friendships. My friends know that they can call me for anything. I'll talk to them about anything. I make sure I'm around for anything. If they're having a hard time with the relationship, I got the ear. I'm willing to hold them down and hear them out and try to give them the best advice possible. Business, the same thing. I try to lead them in the right direction where it is they can win, not lose. And if they lose, it's a learning lesson. And I remind them that it's a learning lesson. Those type of things is the things that I contribute. Even if I have to just be quiet and hear them out and let them vent, that's what I offer to a friendship. Any of their events, I'm there. No matter what. I'm holding them down no matter what. So if you're not getting that in return, then there's nothing there. Also, you should be able to break bread with your friends. It doesn't matter how bad the idea is. You can have a conversation about it. You should be able to break bread with them, create something where it is you guys can invest and grow together. I know they said sometimes, it's just best to not do business with friends. But if I can't do business with my friends, then, or share my business idea with my friends, then what is the purpose? It's a part of who I am. If I have to close off parts of myself just to protect, a relationship, that's not good. They should be able to accept me for who I am, no matter what. We don't have to exchange dollars. But just listening to the the probability, the possibilities of doing it. That doesn't hurt anybody. And if you actually figure it out, then guess what? Everybody has to sign the contract and respect that the contract needs to be done. But if I'm dealing with an individual that can't even talk to me in a regular way or pick up my phone calls and look at the phone ring, I'm like, oh yeah, this is so-and-so call me. I guess I'll call him back whenever. And never make the call. That's not friendship. That's just an avoidance of something that you feel like you're obligated to. Maybe you should let that individual know that, I don't feel the same way you feel about our friendship. And then be done with it. Everybody go their own merry way. You don't have to be mad. I've had people that I've literally had to cut off, and what do? They try to make my life a living hell because I didn't want to be friends with them anymore because the things that they were doing were toxic and just simply wrong. They didn't feel like I was entitled to making that change or doing what was best for me. So they were angry about it, which further solidified the fact that they were upset because they didn't provide anything healthy or valuable for me to stick around and keep dealing with that situation. If it's worth someone's time, then there's value. They'll stick around no matter what. But if it's not worth somebody's time, they won't stick around. They'll make changes and move on. And they're entitled to that. You just have to be adult enough to understand it and just move on. And some people are just simply not adult enough to understand it. They don't see the value in that situation. So understanding your value, it helps you build healthy relationships around you and keep those relationships intact. You don't have to feel as if you're obligated. If you know your value, you know you're there for a reason, and you don't have to feel any obligation in being anywhere. You're there because you want to be there and you know what you can contribute to the situation. And if you feel like you cannot contribute, do not put yourself in that position. Take a step back. It's okay to. I want to end today's podcast with saying that sometimes it's necessary to just let shit go if it's not healthy for you. If it doesn't work for you, if it doesn't add to your basket of value. You want to create a basket of value that includes your friends, your family, your business dealings. That includes that. You want to make sure that you have a basket of value. You can look in there, you can reach in there, like, okay, I love what I'm getting from this situation. I can grow from this situation. If you can't reach in there and grab anything that's valuable, you need to just dump out the whole basket, start over, and start to build again, and start surrounding yourself with healthy, valuable people, situations, and things. No longer allow yourself to just deal with things out of obligation. If it doesn't move the needle, you don't need it. it's okay to just let it go. All right, guys. So with that being said, as you can tell, today's episode is a little bit longer. As time goes, I'm going to have guests on, and the episodes are going to be a lot longer. So I appreciate you guys for taking the time out to check out Coffee and Convo with me. And to the next episode, thank you guys. I appreciate you. You have a good day. And we're going to be leaving out to some more music by, myself, lyricist.